About 2,500 years ago, the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar had a dream. The dream was prophetic, but nobody could explain to him the meaning of the dream. The king was very upset, and he ordered to persecute all of his wise men if they could not come up with the explanation of his dream. Then somebody told him that there was a young man from the Jewish captives named Daniel who had God's given ability to interpret dreams. Daniel told King Nebuchadnezzar exactly what the king saw in his dream. The king had seen the image whose head was of gold, his breast and arms of silver, his belly and thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet partly of iron and partly of clay. The king saw a stone fall down from above, which smote the image upon his feet, and the image broke in pieces and became like chaff, and the wind carried all of it away. There was nothing left of the image. The stone became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. Daniel had explained to the king that the image represented all world governments, beginning from the Babylonian Empire until the end of the world. The rock that smote the image upon his feet and broke it into pieces and filled up the whole earth by itself is Jesus. When Jesus will come, all earthly governments, the image, will be destroyed, and only Jesus will govern the earth. Later, Daniel had a vision from God, which will help us to understand the meaning of Nebuchadnezzar's dream. He saw 4 beasts coming out of the sea. In the Bible, the sea is a symbol of peoples or nations. Therefore, the beasts, like parts of the image, symbolize world empires. At first, Daniel had seen the beast like a lion with wings, then the bear with 3 ribs in its mouth, then the leopard with 4 heads and 4 wings, and then the awful beast with 10 horns. We can see the 4 parts of the image that are corresponding to the 4 beasts, and also symbolize world superpowers given in chronological order. The lion, the golden head of the image is Babylon. A lion in the Bible is Babylon. Thus, the time of the image started from the Babylonian Empire. It came to power in 607 BC after defeating Assyria. The Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar took many Jews into slavery. The bear. In 539 BC, Babylon was taken by Cyrus, and Medo-Persia came to power. 3 ribs in the bear's mouth, the 3 great conquests of Egypt, Lydia, and Babylon that brought the Persians to power. King Cyrus allowed the Jews to return to their homeland, to Israel. The leopard. Greece became the greatest empire from 331 BC after campaigns of Alexander the Great. The 4 heads and 4 wings symbolize that after the death of Alexander the Great, the Greek Empire was divided between 4 of his generals. 4 regions became 4 separate provinces. The awful beast. In 146 BC, Rome defeated Greece and became the only superpower in the Mediterranean region. In 146 BC, Roman territory is in red. In 395 AD, the Roman Empire was divided into a Western Empire with the capital in Rome and an Eastern Empire with the capital in Constantinople. The eastern part later became the Byzantine Empire. We are interested in the western part of the empire, where the Roman Empire began. The eastern part, where the emperor and army were, became stronger, and the western part was often under control by the surrounding nations. In 476 AD, the last emperor of the Western Empire was deposed, and all territories of the western part had fallen under control of the Ostrogoths, the Huns, the Vandals, the Franks, the Lombards, and other barbarian peoples. By the end of the 6th century, Justinian I returned to the empire to control most of the Western territory, in light green. Recovered territories were divided into two administrative divisions, Exarchate of Italy and Exarchate of Africa. Exarchates were organized into a group of duchies, and every duchy was governed by a duke. By 700 AD, from Exarchates of Italy and Africa, only a small territory of the Byzantium Empire, in pink, remained. Those were duchies of Istria, Venetia, Ravenna, Perugia, Rome, Naples, Calabria, Sicily, Corsica, and Sardinia. All of them 10 duchies. Return to the beast. You will notice that in spite of the other beasts, the fourth beast has 10 horns. A horn in the Bible is not a kingdom. It is a person in power. For example, in Daniel 8, it is Alexander the Great. The 10 horns of the beast, Roman, not Byzantine Empire, were 10 dukes. Daniel saw how among the 10 horns the powerful horn had appeared. The person in power in the Roman Empire, the Western Empire, became the Pope. The emperor and army were far away, and the church got the real power in the western part. Archbishop, later called Pope, usually negotiated during conquests on behalf of the people, and people accepted him as the head of the Western Empire. When the Lombards began to oppress the people of the Western Empire, the Pope asked for help from the Frankish king Pepin the Short. Pepin had promised the Pope to return lands to the church. For that, the Pope blessed Pepin's descendants, the Carolingians, for the Frankish throne, and by doing that he stopped attempts of the Merovingians to restore themselves to power. In 756 AD, Pepin the Short had presented the Pope with papal states. From that point on, the papacy had received political power. The emperor didn't claim rights for the Western lands anymore. The Roman Empire separated itself from the Byzantine Empire forever. Thus the horn, the Pope, received eyes and a mouth, independence. Daniel saw how 3 other horns, dukes, were plucked out before the horn with the eyes and the mouth, the Pope. The papal states had included 3 duchies of Ravenna, Perugia, and Rome, and 3 dukes had lost their lands. Thus, 3 horns were plucked out. In 800 AD, the Pope had announced Pepin's son, Charles, as Emperor of the Roman Empire. Since then, no emperor could receive power without the approval of the Church first. By the efforts of the papacy, the Roman Empire was restored and received the name Holy Roman Empire. Under that name, the papacy prolonged the Roman Empire until 1806 AD. The unlimited political power of the papacy was terminated in 1849 AD as the result of Italian Revolution. Thus, the government of the fourth beast, with all its horns, came to an end in 1849 AD. There were no more beasts, no more unique superpowers.